Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about paramecium chordatum. This is the diagram showing the paramecium. Paramecium was named by John Hill in 1752 and Antony von Leeuwenhoek described about paramecium. Its common name is sleeper animalcule. It is called so because it looks like the sole of a shoe or slipper. Myself, Dr. BALRAM SAIN, Assistant Professor in Zoology, Government Dungar College, Bikaner. First of all, we will discuss about the systematic position of Paramecium chordatum. Kingdom Protista, phylum Protozoa, subphylum Celiophora, class Ciliata, genus Paramecium, and species Chordatum. In today's lecture, we will discuss about the habit and habitat of Paramecium chordatum and the external structures in Paramecium chordatum. Habit and habitat. Paramecium chordatum is derived from the Greek word paramecus, means oblong, and Latin word chordata, means tail. It is a free living organism which is one of the most common species of Paramecium, having worldwide distribution. It is commonly found in freshwater, ponds, pools, ditches, streams, lakes, reservoirs, and rivers. It is usually found abundant in water containing decaying organic matters in organic infusion and in the sewage water. It thrives well in ponds or slowly running streams containing aquatic plants. It is also found together near the surface in scum. Culture. Paramecium is easily grown in wide-mouthed jars with glass covers containing 3/4 filled with boiled pond water or chalky medium dissolved in 1 liter of water and with 7 to 12 drops of skimmed milk added weekly. The jars are kept away from the direct light to allow bacteria to flourish, which serves as the food for the multiplying bacteria. If we discuss about the external structures, first is the size and shape. It is a microscopic, elongated organism which are visible to the naked eyes. It looks like the sole of a slipper or shoe shaped, cigar shaped or spindle shaped, hence the animal is commonly called as sleeper animalcule. It is light grey or white in color and measures between 170 micrometer and 330 micrometer long. Its body is distinguished into an oral or ventral surface and an aboral or dorsal surface. Its shape is usually constant and in general asymmetrical. It is 4 times as long as broad and cylindrical with different ends. Its body is elongated, blunt and rounded at the anterior end and somewhat pointed at the posterior ends. Its anterior half of the body is slightly twisted. Next is the oral groove. Situated at the ventral surface of the body is a large oblique and shallow depression. It originates from the middle of the body and extends to the left side of the anterior end. This is the picture of the Paramecium chordatum. This is the anterior end. This is the posterior end. Here you can see the oral groove, which is situated on the ventral surface of the body, and it is a large oblique and shallow depression and originates from the middle of the body and extends to the left side of the anterior end. Now, what is the function of oral groove? It drives food materials. Oral groove leads into a V-shaped cavity called a vestibule. Here you can see this is the oral groove, and this V-shaped cavity is termed as vestibule, and the vestibule leads into an oval shaped, here you can see oval shaped opening called as cytostome. Next to the cytostome, you can see the cytostome leads into a funnel shaped cytopharynx. Here you can see in the picture, this is the cytostome oval shaped opening, and this is the funnel shaped cytopharynx. The cytopharynx that turns sharply towards the center of the body is the wide tapering esophagus, and esophagus turns again towards the center of the animal to lead into the forming food vacuole. Here you can see the formation of food vacuole. Here one thing is interesting is, due to the oblique position of the oral groove, the organism has lost its symmetry. Next is the cytoproped or cytopise. It is a small opening present on the ventral surface just behind the cytopharynx. Here you can see this is the oral groove or vestibulum. Behind it is the cytosome or cell mouth, and behind the cytostome is a funnel shaped cytopharynx, in which food vacuole is, you can see. From this opening, undigested food materials are passed outside the body, so it is called cell anus. This is the cytoproped or anal pore, and it is present on the ventral surface just behind the cytopharynx. This is the cytopharynx, and just behind it is the anal pore or cytoproped, and the function is to pass the undigested food material outside the body. Next is the pellicle. Pellicle holds the shape of the animal but elastic enough to permit contractions. Pellicle is the covering of paramecium. It is a thin double layered tough elastic and colorless membrane. It has a double membrane. The outer membrane is continuous with the cilia. Here you can see outer membrane is continuous with the cilia all over. The inner membrane with the ectoplasm. The function of pellicle is to protect the internal organelles from the mechanical injuries. Pellicle shows rectangular or hexagonal depression on its surface under the high magnification of the microscope. Next is the cilia. They are numerous tiny hair-like projections distributed throughout the body. They measure 10 to 12 micrometer in length and 0.27 micrometer in diameter. Cilia occur in longitudinal rows all over the body, and this condition is known as holotrichus, in which body cilia are equal. Paramecium contains 10,000 to 14,000 cilia. These cilia are of two types. First is the oral cilia and the second one is the body cilia. Oral cilia are present in the vestibule and oral groove. They help in the collection of food materials. Whereas body cilia are found on the body surface and helps in locomotion. They are of moderate and fairly uniform in length, but at the posterior end, cilia are quite longer, called caudal tuft, hence the species name caudatum, which will be more clear with the picture. Here you can see the cilia all over the body. We have described two types of cilia. First is the oral cilia and the other one is the body cilia. Oral cilia are present in the oral groove and vestibule, and their function is to collect the food material, whereas the body cilia are found on the body surface and helps in locomotion. And at the posterior end you can see cilia are quite longer than the cilia of the other body parts, and they form a caudal tuft, and hence the species is termed as caudatum. Thanks a lot for paying the attention, and in the upcoming video we will discuss more about the paramecium caudatum. Thanks a lot.